Okay, Kalamazoo, adapted for the 4-string. So the intro to this song, we're going to be at low B2. The note is C sharp on a 4-string. Obviously there is no low B. So we're going to take it up an octave to E9 and pop D11. Okay, so slow down. Alright, and then we're going to bring that up an octave, up here to A16. So in live versions of this, it's that like octave here at that goes up an octave. So in live versions, it's kind of like that again. So into the main riff. But on the record version, it's not really an octave. It's not like that. It's more like there's a strum here, which on a 4-string is going to be at 22. And will actually be easier if you played this note. Well, it'd be closer at E21. Although it's a little awkward and cramped up here. It's into the main riff. And the intro is also the outro to the song. So at the outro, you know, on the record, you hear it at the end. Okay, so our main riff is going to be like this. Okay, so here's that again, but slower. This is a fun one. This is funky. On a 4-string though, you're going to have to be moving up and down the neck pretty fast. So we're going to start with a strum at a bar chord, D and G12. So down and then up muted onto a hammer on an A3. Like that. Slap A1. Alright, and then we're going to strum that again, down once, there's no muted upstroke. And then slap E open, hammer on 3, A1 again. And so that's going to be, so total it's, so throughout this song, some of those A1s, some of them are single, so, and some of them are, there's like a quick muted before, like that. It's a little hard to hear. Okay, now we're going to strum 15, strum 12, another hammer on, another one of those, strum again. And there's 2 variants to this riff. This is the live version, so it's the A1 twice, but on the record it's A1 E1, so like that. Alright, now for the verses. So the Brown album version is going to be the main riff repeated, but just played softer a bit. But in the live versions, the verses have a different riff, and that's going to go like this. So we're popping a G, hammer on 12, and then neck slap on E3, and then slap A1 lightly. Yeah, pretty weird, but you know, this is kind of easier thing to do with a 6-string. because your hand's not moving as much. Okay, and then we're back into the main riff, and then we're into the second verses. And in the second verse, there's a little fill here, just a really simple E1 slap. And that's going to be right after he says, the plate said Kalamazoo. So, with the context of the riff, the live version of the verse riff anyway. And then after the second verse, we go back into the main riff. And then, for the guitar solo, we're going to be playing the main riff, but up 2 frets. Back into our main riff there. So yeah, gonna be the same as before, just 2 frets up. To play it again in slow motion. Okay, then transitioning back to where the riff was before, we're going to strum down from 17 on D and G to 12. So after the guitar solo, we have this part here. Okay, so that first part, that's going to be a muted slap, slap, pop, slap, slap, pop motion, very quick. That's going to be right after the E3 here. So with context. Okay, so that last part there is going to be a strum at the 5th fret harmonic. 7th fret if you're playing on a 6th string. And that's going to be right after the A1 hit here. So with context. Okay, and after that we go into the 3rd verse, and after that we go back into the main riff, which has a couple of fills in it. And after that is the outro of the song, and the outro is, pretty identical to the intro. All that. So these 2 fills at the end are, I hear those on the Brown album version. These are not from studying live performances. So those 2 fills, so they're going to be at the end of the main riff, and the first one is going to be like, that's E3, E1, A1. Whoops. So with context. Okay, so the second fill, gonna have to be pretty quick to do this one. It's like, it's a G strum here, and then E2, E3, back to the 12, up to 15. And again, that's going to be at the end of a riff. So with context.